How and why a nation was transformed into apes. Sarnachin, Prophet David. Have you ever wondered what happens when an entire nation openly defies Allah's command? What if I told you that a whole people were turned into monkeys, and their story is mentioned in the Quran? Stay tuned to learn this incredible tale of warning, punishment, and mercy. I seek refuge with Allah from Satan the accursed. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. A nation upon which Allah sent down a painful punishment, He turned all its people into monkeys. But what sin did this nation commit that brought upon them such a severe punishment from Allah? How long did they live after being transformed? What kind of death did they face? What did they say to their relatives when they became monkeys? And are the monkeys found today descendants of that nation? All these questions will be answered in light of the Quran and Hadith in today's video. Therefore, we humbly request you to watch till the end. The story begins. This extraordinary incident took place during the time of Hazrat Dawood, alayhi salam. He and his people lived in a village called Isla, located on the shore of the sea. The population of the village was around 70,000 people. At that time, this nation was obedient to Allah and lived in happiness. Allah had blessed them with countless blessings, lush green gardens, abundant natural beauty, and especially a great bounty of fish from the sea. Fishing was their main source of trade and sustenance, and they prospered greatly. But with prosperity came disobedience. The people began indulging in sins and slowly turned away from the path of Allah. To test them, Allah sent a divine command through Hazrat Dawood, alayhi salam. Fishing was to be forbidden on the Sabbath, Saturday. This was a major test, as Saturday was the day when fish appeared in abundance near the shore. On other days, the fish were very few and hard to catch. Upon hearing this divine command, the people grew anxious and worried. They didn't realize that this was a test from Allah, the deception of Shaitan. Then came the whispers of Shaitan. He tempted them with a clever trick. Dig trenches and build ponds connected to the sea. On Saturday, when the fish come in abundance, they will swim into the ponds, close the pond gates before Sunday, and then catch the fish the next day. The people liked this idea. They told themselves they were not technically fishing on Saturday. So many of them began implementing this trick. They dug canals from the sea leading into large ponds. The fish entered on Saturday, and on Sunday, they were trapped and easily caught. But what they failed to realize was, this was still disobedience. Catching the fish through deception was no different from direct hunting on the sacred day. The division of the nation. At this point, the nation divided into three groups. 1. The obedient ones. They strictly forbade this trickery and reminded people to fear Allah. 2. The sinners. They committed the sin and justified it. 3. The silent ones. They neither committed the sin nor stopped it. Some people from the nation of Hazrat Dawood, alayhi salam, recognized that the trick of the hunt was wrong. They were upset and chose to avoid the sinful act. Others knew in their hearts that it was wrong but remained silent. They neither hunted nor forbade those who did. In fact, the silent group said to those who were warning the sinners, "Why do you advise a people whom Allah is about to destroy and upon whom He is about to send a severe punishment?" But there was a third group, those who were rebellious and disobedient. They openly opposed the command of Allah and adopted Shaitan's deceitful trick. They hunted fish on Sundays, claiming they weren't breaking the Sabbath directly, but their actions were clearly a violation of Allah's decree. These disobedient people not only caught fish, but also ate and sold them. Dear viewers, according to narration, there were 1,200 disobedient individuals from the nation of Hazrat Dawood, alayhi salam, who continued this practice despite repeated warnings. Hazrat Dawood, alayhi salam, persistently warned them of Allah's punishment, but they refused to stop. Eventually, the righteous among them, who opposed the sin, built a wall to separate themselves from the wrongdoers. So on one side of the wall were the 1,200 disobedient people, and on the other were those who refused to participate in the sin. Hazrat Dawood, alayhi salam, deeply saddened and angered by their stubbornness, finally cursed the disobedient ones. He transformation. Then one morning, none of the disobedient people emerged from their homes. Curious, some individuals climbed the wall to check on them. What they saw was shocking. All 1,200 sinners had been transformed into monkeys. Allah, in His infinite justice, had sent His punishment. The people were turned into monkeys due to their blatant disobedience. When their homes were opened, the monkeys recognized. Their relatives came close, sniffed their clothes, and began to cry with gritted teeth. But they could not speak. They lived like this for 3 days. During this time, they could neither eat nor drink. They died of hunger and thirst, and after 3 days, none of them remained. As Allah says in Surah Al-Baqarah, "And you certainly knew those among you who transgressed in the matter of the Sabbath. We said to them, be apes, despised." Surah Al-Baqarah 265. Thus 1,200 disobedient people from the nation of Hazrat Dawood, alayhi salam, were destroyed. What happened to the others? Those who forbade the disobedience were saved from Allah's punishment. Those who remained silent, though they knew it was wrong, were also spared, according to most narrations. However, their silence was still a cause for concern. Are today's monkeys their descendants? Some people ask, are today's monkeys the descendants of those people who were transformed during Hazrat Dawood's time? According to Hazrat Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, radiallahu anh, someone once asked this very question. He replied, the nation upon whom Allah sends His punishment, such as transformation or destruction, the punishment is limited to them alone. Their generation does not continue. In other words, no, the monkeys we see today are not descendants of those transformed individuals. That nation lived for only 3 days after the punishment, and none of them survived to pass on their lineage. Let us reflect on this powerful story and ask ourselves, do we stand firm against wrongdoing, or do we remain silent? Are we following Allah's commandments sincerely, or looking for loopholes like the disobedient ones did? What lesson do you think we should learn from the story of Hazrat Dawood's nation? Is it about obedience, patience, or something else? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.